Did you run here, Pete? Like Pete
I
is
was carrying my chair. I was carrying my chair in here because I have to like lift it up.
Oh, all right. Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Library of Alexandria. And today we are going to finally be discussing the third book in the Scavenger series by K.J. Parker, and that is Memory. We did not manage to end up doing this for Proof House last year for Fencer, but we did do it for Engineer and The Escapement. We can just talk about our non-spoiler thoughts, though the fact is, hey, thanks Jimmy, that 5 spot. I wish there were more train routes from here. Anyway, I guess, yeah, brief non-spoiler thoughts. No one's here that hasn't read it, or who cares, so we can really, I don't know, let's just give a brief overview before we start talking in depth about stuff. Yet again, Parker whiffs the third book. I don't know why he writes trilogies.
Nah.
He should just write 2 books. Because The Escapement was okay. Like, I didn't like how it ended, but it was still good. I just didn't like how it ended. Did not enjoy the Proof House, really. Didn't enjoy this one. Memory. This is my least favorite Parker novel. Like, I have not
over Proof House.
Yes.
This book should not exist. This is
I disagree.
You
haven't even read Proof House.
Proof House. You have no idea what you're talking about. You haven't read Proof House. So for me, Proof House is boring. Sorry for those of you who I'm not good at this. Like, I'm assuming that if you're not watching it, I'm not good at reading out the comments like Jimmy is for those listeners at home instead of the watchers. The longest passenger train journey is from Portugal to Vietnam.
I feel like it's a code phrase or something. Like Jimmy's just gonna read out a phrase and then the B&E happens.
No, you weren't here previously where he spammed the chat with train facts. It's just it's a continuation of the pre-show stuff. Anyway, so Proof House I thought was boring and was not a great resolution to what had happened before. But it wasn't like I just like this book just made me mad. Like it just I don't know. I do not think this book is a good ending to the series. I did not think this book had any cohesion with what came before it. I think anything established as fact in the first 2 books was just kind of ignored in the third book for whatever happened. So I did not like it, but that's okay. We can talk about it. Thank you. Atticus is bringing me bookmarks. All right, Anita, we're going to go to you next. So we'll do the antes before we do the pros.
I hated this book. This is worse than Claudius the God. I can't tell you how much I hated the book. This is a complete disrespect to readers. Like, I mean, you can like the concept. Pete can like the concept, but if he says this book is good in terms of anything else, I'm going to.
I did not dislike this worse than Claudius the God because Claudius the God was boring, and Robert Graves wrote about it boringly. So like Proof House was boring, but not written boringly. Claudius the God is boringly boring. This book was at least it's got Parker's moment-to-moment writing.
There is no coherence to it's like publishing a first draft of the book with just ideas of the floating around.
I don't think it had an editor. Like or the editor didn't care. The editor's like, whatever, Tom, do what you need to do. So anyway, sorry, Anita. Continue with your thoughts. I apologize.
What happened, book 2 did not add anything to this book. There is no point of it.
I liked book 2. Book 2 was my favorite.
But like as a series, as a middle book in the series, it doesn't make sense to me. Entire volcano thing, it doesn't add anything to the plot. I like that volcano thing part, how to save yourself from the volcano. But to this plot, for this series, it doesn't add any value. And it feels like it doesn't matter, like who knows, twist, somebody knows, somebody doesn't know. I am trying very hard to be polite about it, but it's just a crap. I can't tell you how.
Oh
God.
All right, Pete, who finished it most recently.
Yeah, I really like this book. I think overall, I don't think this series is better than the Engineer trilogy. I will say that.
It's 100% not.
Seriously, there is not even a comparison.
I think there are a few things that he could have done and that would have reached there.
Entire book. Sorry, Pete. This is what it is going to happen. Every positive thing you're going to say, I'm going to say something negative.
Right. So the first 3/4 of the book is extraordinarily like, hey, what's happening? Are you going to wrap this up, Parker? Come on, let's go in. And like the last quarter of the book just takes off. It was great.
Guys, I am not devoting 2 hours to talking about this book. So we need to go. Like, we got to get it going. So I need y'all to
I just, so basically I do think the second book had purpose, right? I think there's a continuous
whoa.
Hold on.
Continue. It's Atticus did something.
Oh,
Pete,
okay.
you continue.
I didn't say anything. Right. I like the ending. I think that explained just enough. And I don't think that this book was disrespectful to readers. I just think it was poorly edited. I think he got away with a lot because of the dreams, right? I think there was a bunch of errors in like the dreams and stuff. But because
Jimmy,
the dreams were dreams.
Jimmy, don't leave. Your comments are helping me to be calm. Actually, otherwise I'll murder Pete by the end of this stream.
But yeah, I like the twist. I especially like the twist at the ending and everything like that because there's some theorizing stuff that popped through there. It was interesting.
Evie?
I think I am the one that liked this book the most.
Probably.
It's not better than Engineer, but it's close to it.
Yeah.
No.
I
don't know. I just the whole metaphysical quality of it, I just really liked it. And to be completely frank, I experienced gummies for the first time while reading the last 2 books. So I think that really helped it. So
that's fair. That is something that could definitely help.
How is that fair? That literally says nothing about the book. That has nothing.
The book itself is a trip.
It's true.
No, it's not. The book is crap. There is no. Even Parker did not decide like whom to make Polden at the last minute.
You cannot enjoy the book without an altered state of consciousness. That is not an endorsement of a book. It's not. That means.
Look, there's so many people out there that love Infinite Jest. I can guarantee you that they read it while high all the time.
Okay,
that is a book that's meant to be
that just reinforces my opinion that Infinite Jest is a bad book too.
In all seriousness, excluding the gummy experience, I really like the metaphysical qualities of this series, and sure, there were errors. I didn't really care, to be honest.
Yeah,
I liked the experience.
I don't think they affected me at all. I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
Please, you read it for a month. Oh my God.
Look, it's like
I was in the middle of busy season. All right, I'm literally gonna get off this, go play D&D, and then immediately start working.
So
look, I stopped playing my game so that Finlay could catch up to me because I was so far ahead of him, and I've waited for 2 weeks for him to just play because he's also in his busy season. I'm like, did you not play this game all week, Finn? Like, I need you to catch up to me, bud, so I can keep playing. So I get it. There's a lot going on. I've been sick the whole freaking all of January.
Notice how you stopped being sick as soon as I finished memory.
No, I know. I got really sick. I was coughing. I woke up coughing this morning.
No, I broke the curse. You can't do that.
All right. No, I like books all the time that people don't like because what is wrong with them does not bother me. So I cannot then come down on Evie and Pete for not being bothered by the things wrong with this book. So I mean, it just happens. That's the point of, that's the point of reading. My problem with this book is I'm so angry because I see what this book could have been and what I wanted this book to be. The whole reason I kept reading the series was to get like a conclusion. And I know Joe was saying that he liked everything except the very, very end, like the end,
Really?
like the last scene. Yeah, he said he hated
He
the last.
loved him just chilling out.
Yeah, he hated the last scene because it's too nihilistic. The thing is, like,
okay.
I liked the very, very last scene because I did not see it coming, and it is so rare in fantasy books now, and especially in a Parker book, guys. Like Parker, if anything, Parker has his formula. Like Simon's read 3 Parker books and has already figured it out, right? Like we generally know what's coming. Belly of the Bow, something happens that we're like, okay, all right. But then the very, very end, I'm talking spoilers now, whatever. The very, very end with the rats, like I didn't see coming and was awesome. And I loved it so much because I didn't see it. And I'm like, yeah, the person's going to betray them, but they didn't. And instead it was something completely different. And I thought that was awesome because I didn't expect it and because other writers don't do this. But it was just a coda on just a mess because I'm so irritated from chapter 2 where what's his name? Griff? What is the stupid thing's name? Like, what is the new guy's name that shows up? Because of the G.
Activia. Gain. It's not Activia. It's Acavia.
Yeah,
it's Activia.
Yeah, Gain shows up, right? In the second chapter, shows him a list of all the people that went to school with them. And Poldarn and Ciartan's name are both on there. That is never explained. It is never explained. It is not explained one time. It does not even come close to being explained. Ciartan at no point says, hey, why is my name and Poldarn's name on here? After Gain says, yeah, we used to call you Poldarn. Well, why is there a list that has Ciartan and Poldarn? And why does Ciartan not think this is weird when wasn't he called Poldarn? Makes no sense. Second, my biggest problem is that I refuse to believe any of this was planned to start with because we get Monarch point of views in book 1. And at no point does Monarch mention anyone else who was in that school. No, none. In fact, in book 2, we're supposed to believe through the dreams that Monarch and Poldarn were best friends. Well, Monarch was the fat kid that no one hung out with. He wasn't anyone's best friend. So that lore's gone.
I mean, he was part of the friend group, but like
he was not anyone's best friend. Like he says Poldarn, Ciartan and him were best friends in book 2. Like that happens in book 2 in their little dream sequence. Third, we are told that
dream sequence.
Hold on. We are told that what's her name? What's the girl's name?
Cloris.
What?
Copus.
Sorry.
Copus grew up as a prostitute, and and they even call her, they even call her that. Everyone knows her as that. When was that? She's from a noble family. Like she went to school with all them. When in her storyline did that happen?
It wasn't growing up as prostitute. I think she said before coming to find Polden, she was working as prostitute.
There was no time. No, in the timeline, there was no time for her to have done that.
In this book 3, as per book 3 timeline, what we got to know, there was nothing that corroborate with what we got to know in book 1.
And even despite all that, there are no answers. We got no answers, none. The answer is, oh, we were using you the whole time. And it's like, what? What? Anyway.
So I think that there was one thing that was planned from the very beginning, and that was Farron Amethy and Tezentius. That was the thing that I think was laid out properly, and he laid out the twist for that.
That Farron Amethy is a title, not a name.
Yes,
basically.
because from the very first book, I thought he might have been it.
You mean Farron Amethy?
Abernathy.
Whatever his name is.
No, Amethy.
Dread Pirate Roberts.
Yes, Dread Pirate Roberts was set up from the very beginning, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I can get that. That's fine. It's just everything else. I'm okay with that. Like the Farron Amethy being a title, not a name. That was cool. I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
But everything else, I just didn't know why we were led through all of this for such unsatisfactory revelations, and also we're supposed to be when they come across Cleophon, or Cleopho or whatever, revealed as the whatever their friend. Yeah, when it come across that, it's supposed to be a surprise. Gain literally tells Poldarn in book 2 explicitly. So
Gain
I'm like, Parker, did you
doesn't tell
forget that
Poldarn what?
that
You mean
in-
Monarch? Monarch in book
No,
1
no,
mentioned.
no.
In chapter 2 of this book,
Oh,
Gain
chapter
tells Poldarn, Ciartan, that Cleopho is their friend from school,
Yes.
who is now the chaplain. But
Yes.
when Poldarn runs into them, everyone seems surprised that he's still alive and that's there, except for the fact that Gain told Poldarn explicitly in chapter 2. I'm like, this is not a surprise. You literally just told us. I think Parker forgot he told us.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Gain was the only one who knew. I don't think anybody else knew that he was alive and he was Cleopho.
How? Gain's been hanging out with everybody else.
I think that's your impression that Gain can't hold his tongue.
Oh my gosh. Whatever.
And
Anyway,
what happened to Gain at the end? No clue. He
No
just
idea.
suddenly.
my thing, I've told you my problems with it. I didn't find it satisfactory. I thought he pulled a lot of things out of whole cloth for no reason. I don't think Gain served the purpose, because what happened at the end? Nothing. Who knows?
I think one of the things, well, Tezencius is on the throne now. It's great. And what's his face is just, or Poldarn is off living his life. And the end of the world is coming.
I do think the whole prophecy was I mean, you could argue that it was actually real. That Poldarn did bring about the end of the world, and he is the Poldarn.
And Monarch was also an agent of Poldarn.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, the whole their fight and them crossing the Thanes and becoming together. I'm with you, Pete, on that.
So Pete and Evie, I want y'all to go ahead and lay out your oratio for why this book is not the worst. I want to understand where y'all are coming from.
Right.
If you found it more satisfactory than I did. Atticus, you wanted to sit. You're going to sit, but you're not going to grab a bunch of stuff, bud. Or else you're going to sit in that chair.
I will say, with this book and with this series and kind of how inconsistent some of the lore is, some of it's excusable by Dreams, some of it's not. It solidifies my concept that he is not a lore nerd, and that trying to come up with a consistent set of lore for this world that he writes in is impossible, right? I remember talking with somebody about Saturninus, and and trying to figure out the timeline for the Saturninus books and where it all fits and all this other jazz, and see if there is a timeline. Dealing with the fact that his year citations are so vague, and the fact that they're probably not consistent across books. And then they came up with the theory that there's 2 Saloninuses in history. And at that point, I was like, that's crazy. Okay, cool. And this book kind of confirms that, trying to get Parker to be consistent across books, unless he's writing them all together, it's harder for him to do. And I think that we see that the consistency more with
I do not think it is unreasonable to expect a trilogy to be consistent. It does, other works don't have to be consistent with other works, but across the same series, I don't understand.
Yeah. And I think once I hit that, I was not bothered by any of it. I was like, oh, it was around the beginning of book 3. I was like, yeah, okay, cool, whatever. I'm just going to enjoy it for what it is.
I hear you. Evie, what are your thoughts? What did you enjoy about it? And why didn't the inconsistencies bother you?
So it's because of the whole dream memory sequences or whatever. So I'm trying to find the quote here that I had marked. Memories of memories recalled in dreams. I had put that's the byline of this entire series. It's just to reiterate, the whole metaphysical dream aspect of it. It's a trippy book. So I don't know, the fallibility of memory. I personally, outside of this series, always have this fear, and I think about the fallibility of memory all the time. And Parker is, whether intentionally or unintentionally, whatever the word is playing with the fallibility of memory through this series by making mistakes, whether it's intentional or editorial. And just this whole nested, not even nested, but just what's that movie? Not Interstellar, Inception type thing going on. I enjoyed that aspect. I enjoyed the confusion. I allowed myself to be confused, and I tried to not. If I thought about it, I would just get mad. So I was like, okay, I'm going to just go with the confusion and see what happens.
Okay, see.
And the idea that it's the thing that was anchoring me was the whole prophecy of Poldarn and trying to figure out what was real, like what's actually happening, what's true, what's prophecy, what's not. And I just finished, just had a discussion review on Little Big and talking about real versus unreal. And this book is also that. It's really an exercise and an exploration of what's real versus unreal, what's prophecy, what's reality.
Okay. What I want to say is I agree with you in terms of the concept, what Parker wanted to do. I don't have any problem with that. As Alan said, it could have been a good book. You know, the infallibility of it. This book is trippy, as you said. As if it is trippy in terms of intentionally like obtrusive, I wouldn't have been this problem. But especially book 3, it is full of editorial mistakes. It's less intentional, more editorial mistakes. So the infallibility of this book, it could have been a great way if everything was intentional. But instead of that, what we got is non-edited first draft actually, which I cannot excuse. In terms of concept, I would definitely agree with you that it is good actually, that nested dreams concept. I was very fascinated in book 1, but this book 3, no, I can never forgive.
Remember, Anitha gave book 1 4 stars too. My problem, and I said it in my review, is because of the dream nature and because of the unreliability of what anything we see is happening. The main reason I did not like this is because it caused me undue stress that should not happen while reading a book, because I could not distinguish the continuity errors from the unreliability of the dreamscape. And so when I saw that note, that has Poldarn and Siart in there, like I thought it was for a purpose, and that I'm sitting there waiting. I'm like, okay, this is clearly not a mistake. Like I'm going to see like what the payoff for this is, along with everything else that I thought was just part of the unreliability of the narration, but was actually just an error. And so because of the nature of the story, it stressed me out. In a more straightforward story, it's much easier to just be like, oh, boom, that's an error. He screwed that up. And that's fine. And I can generally move past that because, Parker's not the only one to put continuity errors in. But because I did not know what was real and what was not, I didn't know if it was wrong or like, I didn't know if it was purposeful or accidental. And so when I got to the end, I had all of these things that I was holding in my head that I need explanations for. And I got explanations for like one of them, and the rest were errors. And I'm like, what the frick? And it just made me retroactively angry.
Well,
I think I have an explanation for the list.
Oh my God, Pete. There isn't an explanation for the list.
Going back to chapter 18, where we talk about, one, we're paying with the unreliability of memory.
Evie, do you have gummies you can pass out to everybody while we
See, I have no problem.
I think this is an example of Gaines' memory being kind of funky for a very specific reason.
No, wait, just hold on. Did we get any explanation or implication that that's the case? This is you defending the book because you want to defend the book.
Absolutely.
You're looking for an explanation. You're putting the explanation in the book.
Hold on.
It was nowhere told that.
Anitha, let's hear the explanation first before we trash.
All right, so going back to what we were talking about with Monarch being Poldarn's shadow based on that one specific duel that they had in grade school. So Earwig is Poldarn's shadow. I think at that point that there can be some confusion whether or not Monarch is Poldarn, and Earwig is /Monarch is the one that's not on that list. So arguably having Ciartan and Poldarn is actually foreshadowing for the fact that Monarch, well, actually more foreshadowing that Monarch is Poldarn's shadow.
But why does Poldarn not comment on the fact that his real name and Poldarn are both on that piece of paper?
Because when do you notice your shadow?
If you hand me a piece of paper and my nickname and my name are both on the paper, I will notice it.
That's great.
Anita, you know what, Anita? Go ahead, Anita.
Okay. See,
I agree with you. Like I would have noted, like it would have been something you pointed out, but
No, Anita, go. I am letting loose the dogs of war.
see,
I think there is an explanation.
no, there is not. You are just looking for an explanation when it's not there because you want. See, I don't
How
have
do you
any
tell the difference between
problem.
that and subtext, Anita?
I don't have any problem for you liking the book, but I have a big problem if you defend the book. No, that's why I'm
I'm
not
going to
yelling
defend
at.
the book that I like, Anita.
No, I mean, okay. As long as it happened in the book, you can defend that happened. You can tell me I'm missing something, but it did not happen. You're trying to, okay.
Everything
think,
I just cited happened in the book, though.
No, it did not.
Yes, it did. Poldarn,
How
Monarch
do you know Gain
absolutely
made
was
a mistake?
Poldarn's shadow.
How
I
do
don't
you
know
know
if he made
Gain made a mistake?
Because there's a mistake on the list.
Yeah. How do you know it is not editing mistake? It is characters.
How do you know it is an editing mistake?
Because it was wrong. We can see it is right in
There's
front
plenty
of
of things
eyes.
in this series that are wrong because of the dream state. Like for instance, the one that you harped on like the first book or two, where the grandfather was taking the baby up on the thing. That was a dream, and it was wrong because it happened in another cycle.
Oh, can we also mention the fact that a character that was definitely killed in book 1 is now a general in book 3? Like, can we talk
Yes,
about,
please.
Absolutely.
talk about that?
Yeah, we
Like,
are complaining about that too.
Like that 100% is wrong. I've seen other reviews comment on that too.
Yeah.
Being like, didn't that guy like, and then they quote the part in book 1 where he was killed.
But yes, I think that there are things in here that were definitely mistakes. But also, just because those things are mistakes doesn't mean this is an editorial mistake. Because I do think that one of the things that could have happened is the editor came back to Tom Holt and was like, "Hey, there's some mistakes here," and Tom's just like,
Again,
"No, there's not."
Again, it's speculation. Now I have to be a lawyer. Objection, Your Honor. It's speculation.
All right. So Evie is looking up receipts. She's the only one that like actually wrote down any quotes from this one. I didn't read this one on Kindle, so I wasn't able to highlight anything.
I know that I highlighted this, but I was trying to find the scene where Monarch and Ciartan / Poldarn they have their fight at school, and that's when they cross their things. That's when they kind of like go through their stuff. But
they mention it in like chapter 18.
Yeah, something like that.
I remember that. Actually, I like that scene. I do believe that it kind of gives some explanation of why dreams can be seen both by Monarch and Poldarn, and how sometimes we see different people. And I do understand if you tell me like some part of Poldarn got into Monarch as well. So they both have role to play in this bringing the end of the world. But more than that, I did not get anything. It did not justify other mistakes.
So for me, one of the things that made me more, I guess, accepting of just the confusion of it all is with the Fencer trilogy. You have those. What do they call it? It's when they go into the other people's dreams, essentially. I felt like that. I'm sorry?
The stuff with the principal.
Yeah, the principal. I felt like it was an extension of that, which we know that KJ Parker / Tom Holt explores more in other books.
Yeah.
So I feel like it wasn't his first fantasy, right? Like he wrote fantasy as Tom Holt, right?
I think Fencer was the first one.
Fencer was the first one as Parker, but Tom Holt had written before.
Yeah. See, Evie, I think what you're getting at, I do understand. That's why I did not mind book one, and that's why I gave benefit of doubt to dreams, even though they are confusing. But none of the principal thing or dream confusion justify the mistakes like the Muno coming back alive, or the list, or
Yeah.
Gain coming and going whenever he wants, whenever plot requires.
Some of that can be explained. Some of that can be just like hand waved, like Gain coming and going whenever.
Some of if the book explains, let me know. Otherwise, I'll not accept that.
So the other aspect is, and I've this is my experience with Parker in general, is I never have a sense of time passing in his books. I never know if it's a week later from one scene to the next, 2 months later, like it could a year later. Sometimes it could be all of the things. And so with the inconsistencies that you're seeing in Ethan and Alan, like I see that as just a passage of time. Like you could say excusing that by saying, okay, there's a passage of time. We're not seeing the progression from point A when we last saw them to point B when we see them again. And we're not seeing the scenes in between.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's my experience with Parker as well. It's just like,
so I mean, people keep bothering me about how I don't actually like KJ Parker. Kyle shockingly put it the best, where like I really enjoy Parker's moment to moment writing. Like his like I like, even despite the plot that I do not enjoy with this, I think Parker is a good writer, and I like reading his writing, which is why you know, when his books don't land for me, it's because I didn't like what he was writing about, but it doesn't mean I don't like his writing. And it's hard because like I'm also harder on Parker books than I am on like other authors, just because
he can do better.
Yeah, like I have books that I really, really like for Parker, but then there's a whole section where I'm like, I mean, this is fine. Like what? Like I read, you know, Sister
Svengard
and
Snickwood.
I'm like, this is fine. Like, I mean, this is a Parker book. All right, cool. Like I can tell from the beginning, I'm like, okay, this is going to be one that I'm going to be like, okay, that's fine, and then move on with. But I still read them because I like the way he writes about stuff, and he'll like, even, you know, like a single paragraph that says something that is just like a profound observation on the nature of humanity, like all makes it worth it. I'm like, that's exactly that, Parker. Like, nice. And so I like having these discussions, and I like having other Parker fans to see like what we all like about the various, you know, Parker books. Like Evie liked The Escapement, but that's because Evie is
I also like The Escapement.
Evie's the number one Ziani stan that I know. But so the book 1 and 2, like the dream sequences didn't bother me as much. I mean, they still bother me. I don't like dream sequences, and like where I don't know what's going on. It's just hard for me to think things abstractly like that. But I always thought there was going to be a payoff, and then book 3 delivered so little payoff for me that I like. There was no way I was going to like it. I do not think all of the dream stuff from book 1 and 2 had any resolution that, you know, was worth it to me. So that sucked. But I am glad I read the series, and I will probably go back and read book 2 at some point. I'm probably never going to read book 1 and 3 again. But book 2 has so little to do with book 1 and 3, but it feels so much like The Hammer. Like it's a proto The Hammer for me, if you treat it as a standalone. And again, I get hung up on stuff like just that narration with the cart and Evan and whatever. Like, it's just so funny. Like, it's still just so funny to me. Stop. That, you know, I'll remember that book. But like 1 and 3, you know, I'll say this for Parker. Like, he did try something that is unusual, but I do not think it worked. But he did try something at least. So at least he's trying to not write the same story.
Can we talk about one particular scene though? At least
please do.
in the third book, the dinner scene.
You want down?
Oh
The
my
dinner
god,
scene where
that
So
the dinner
good.
scene was isn't that the same as the last scene from book 2?
Yeah, the dream sequence or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was
Yucky.
so disgusting and so
Yucky.
cool.
Yucky.
that is just so
Who's
unnecessary.
Who's the other one there? Is it It's Monarch and Copus? Is that the
Yeah.
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 And then he saves Copus, but not his shadow.
Oh my gosh, you and his shadow.
They
After
cannot
looking
be
at
two
He was
that,
a
gods.
shadow from the beginning.
Mama's not here.
I have the quote. Because at that moment in time, there's only been enough in the room in the world for one of them, and yet they both have been there, illegally sharing it, like a shadow or a mirror image being soaked into the body and cast it. 2 circles superimposed, becoming one.
So what does that mean? What does that mean, Pete?
It means they're kind of like Poldarn is connected to them both equally.
Not equally.
That doesn't. No, hold on. No, Pete's explanation doesn't make any sense. What does that mean?
Right, when it comes down to it, there's something about they've created like a second personality within Ciartan as a result of it. It's still confusing, but it's there.
Are they the same person?
I mean, they're
No.
not supposed. They're sharing the same role. Think about it on like a
Yes.
grand historical
So
scale.
what Parker said was one of them was supposed to die, but in that
They didn't.
duel in the school, both of them they did not die. Because of that, they created kind of ripple, and Polden came back because of that ripple. So both have some Polden, some aura of Polden.
So hold on. Since one of them was supposed to die and they didn't, the world is continuing on top of each other. One where Ciartan survived, one where Monarch survived. Is that what you're saying?
No.
That
Not
makes at least
quite. They're still in the same world together, but like
That's
they're
why
saying
it
the
needs
same
to
role
end.
in history, right? That's why Poldarn.
But hold on. But if Ciartan had died, Monarch would have been the Poldarn. Say, hey, don't touch that. But if Monarch had died, Ciartan would have been the Poldarn. But since neither died, they're both the Poldarn of the world.
I mean, Poldarn
If
is
one of them had died, both of them would have been human. So end of the world would not have happened. Polden would not have come back because both of them are alive. Polden came back, and both have the aura. Mostly, Ciartan have Polden. Polden chose him as vehicle, but Monarch also has some power or something like that. He also
Ciartan was
affected some
already
events.
like connected to Poldarn at that point, though, because he was connected to Poldarn even back on the island.
Why is nothing ever said about him having a kid with his daughter?
Oh my God.
He killed his other kid. What?
It doesn't. That doesn't answer Alan's question. Yeah.
And hang on. Is Copus actually the sister
No.
of? That was a lie, right?
No, that was a lie.
Yeah.
Okay. Like there was just the other thing that enraged me about this is like everyone they meet just claims to know something and no one will say anything. And that started in book 1 and it just continues in this book. And then there's too many like, wah, but I lied to you then. And it happens too fast. Like the whole thing with his wife.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right? It was his wife. Like
I was deceiving you the whole time.
Why did we have the I'm just kidding, I'm actually Copus's sister. But no, I'm actually like I don't understand the purpose of that particular deception.
I think
because
she
there
did
was
not
so
say
little time between the reversal. Like nothing happened as a result of her pretending to be Copus's sister, right?
She did not pretend Copus's sister. She only talked about her sister. That's when he recognized, because we assumed or somehow there was confusion.
Poldarn assumed
who
that
that sister. There was confusion who that lady was. So we had different theories, but she never explicitly said she's Copus's sister.
And then eventually it was just like, oh yeah, I'm actually your wife. That's why you recognized me.
Also, I hated the whole concept of there is no consistency again here. Like why everyone, like he loves Kopi so much and the wife loves him so much and he loves wife so much. It was very, very confusing. There is no consistency.
I mean,
No
I know this is
consistency
a
in memory.
joking comment, Mitch, but what if Poldarn is Zeus and Zeus got along with everybody, including his own daughters?
Are we talking about Poldarn Ciartan or Poldarn the Crows?
All of the above.
Sounds about right. Okay, cool. So if Zeus is hyperimposed over Hephaestus,
explain the crows then. What was the purpose of the crows? Because by the end, I didn't think
because everybody is Poldarn. That's what Poldarn is a hive mind. That whole thing is still a thing, right? With the crows, the crows were also emblematic of his connection to Poldarn, which he mostly cut off in the second book, and that's why Poldarn was just like so not present in the third book, because he had like pushed himself away. He was still a scout, like he still did he still performed his duty as a scout to bring all the other crows in, the destruction in with the old lady. Like he still did it. It's both a metaphor and a hive mind.
I like that old lady being the mother of the one they killed, that friend in school.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, what?
Repeat. Old lady, then the rat, the person who brought the rats, she's the mother of one of the friends who was killed in school.
Yeah.
And she brought destruction.
Guys, I was just blown away by the rat thing. I should have seen it. And I wasn't. And I'm always super impressed when someone can get one over on me when the signs are obvious, because there's always the reveals that come out of nowhere that you could never have seen. But like the woman's had her
laying them down.
Yeah, she's had her mice
right in front. It was right in front of us actually.
And also, then they mentioned a plague, and I never.
I was focusing on who this old lady is. He keeps meeting, and I was like, did not connect to that with the plague.
Poldarn.
Oh my gosh, Pete.
We are all Poldarn.
No, we're not all Poldarn.
She was Poldarn.
All right, Evie. What else?
About the destruction.
Evie, what else you like about this book? Why does this book come close to measuring up to Engineer, which is significantly more straightforward?
I think it's the confusion and just complete and utter disjointedness of the Fencer trilogy. You can see the progression of his craft from Fencer to this trilogy and then to the Engineer. And I think I said it in book one, or during book one, I was like, okay, this is giving me the same like Shakespearean tragedy type vibes as Engineer, but I can see, where he's coming from in Fencer trilogy. So I think it's a good, it's a good bridge. It's a combination, and you can see just the craft building to what becomes Engineer for me.
By the way, what was the city name, capital city where Tejantius was there, like End City?
I forget.
Great question.
I didn't unlike Engineer, there just weren't any characters I could attach to, because Poldarn was not a character, and then there was no one else. And then in Engineer, you have Valen, Ziani, Dorenja, Beatriz, or whatever. Beatriz.
In general,
Orsino.
I actually think that the trilogies are like his short fiction. Everyone sounds the same, like all of his characters. And regardless of whether you like the books or not, I feel like each character, or at least each protagonist in the trilogies so far, are distinct. Like,
I get that. I'll give that.
And for me, like in this trilogy in Scavengers, like I do actually really connect with a lot of them. Like they're all, I don't know, they're not good characters, they're not bad characters, they are just I don't know how to describe it. It's just they're fascinating. They're all fascinating to follow, whether you like them or not. For me.
I would have liked them better if there was consistency. I was so frustrated that by the end I did not like anyone.
So let's wrap up talking about how we felt about Scavenger as a whole, the series as a whole. Anitha, does book 3 ruin book 1 and 2 for you?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I mean, I would have enjoyed the concept. It would have worked for me if it was consistent. That's all. That's the only good thing I could say about it.
Yeah.
It was very disrespectful, and I cannot. I
Okay.
can never agree with someone who, if someone says that if this book is good, I have no problem them liking it, but this is not good.
Pete, what are your thoughts on the trilogy as a whole?
I really liked it. I think that it was less than what I wanted it to be, but when I figured out it was going to be less than I wanted it to be, I had a good time, and I liked the twist at the end. And I love learning how to make cannons, kind of, sorta.
We already learned how to make cannons in Engineer Trilogy.
Yeah, but this was pre-engineer.
I mean,
this
that's
is pre-engineer cannon.
That's true. When they went to the cannon thing in here, I'm like, we already did this, bud. Like, or I guess I should have, when reading the Engineer, being like, we already did this, bud. Like, where's the cold spot?
What was that first scene? They go somewhere in the middle of the forest.
Charcoal.
Yeah.
Charcoal, yeah.
Charcoal.
Why did we get that? No.
I don't really know, but I don't really ask a lot.
Tell us about the forest. Literally, that's the only information that was useful from that situation was the forest and then charcoal supply chains. And
the fact that Farron Amethy had killed a bunch of people that got stuck in the bog.
True, that too. There was a lot actually in that forest.
Yeah. Evie?
Obviously, I really liked the trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
I think each book is worth reading individually and then as a whole. And I think I put this in my review, but I would definitely not recommend this trilogy for even a well-seasoned KJ Parker fan, as evidenced by Alan and Anitha and hating them. I mean, it's, if you're willing.
What you're saying is that somebody who's brand new to Parker should read Scavenger.
False.
I mean, sure. Yeah,
no, they will never come back to Parker.
Blank slate, much like Poldarn with his lack of memory.
Mm-hmm.
You're a blank slate. You can be renewed. But in all seriousness, I don't know who to recommend this to.
Right.
Parker completionists.
Sure.
Yeah, that's what someone said. I forget.
Yes.
So I just struggle with really high concept stuff in general. Like my brain has trouble with really abstract things like that. So dream sequences that aren't like really straightforward. Like all fantasy has dream sequences, but it's usually just really straightforward. It's someone dreaming about something that is obviously meant to be something else, or they're dreaming about something that is obviously about to happen. Like I'm okay with dream as this thing is foreshadowed. That is not what this is. And I just really struggle. This is part of why I struggle with sci-fi a lot. There's a lot of high concept sci-fi that is just like, it's just beyond what I'm good at processing. I much prefer the straightforward things where I don't have to wonder what is going on. Like when I'm wondering what is going on, this is part of the problem I had reading Malazan the first time through. It's like, what is going on? And it's still one of my problems with Erickson is like, yeah, okay, I understand, but you could also just make it clear what's happening. Like this is a choice you're making that I don't care for. I do not think the book would be worse if you just explained to me what was happening instead of all of this. I just don't like having to keep a lot of information held here in my head because I don't understand it. I would like to process this. It just tires me out.
Yeah.
It tires me out having to keep this in the forefront of my mind to understand something later. And that's just me in general. That makes me, that means I'm not in the super smart club that loves stuff like that.
I mean, that's kind of like the thing that I liked about a lot of these books is I liked holding that stuff in my hand and trying to figure it out to a certain extent. Even though,
I can see that. I can see.
Yeah, and regardless, like Parker's just a good writer. Like I love the way he writes. And so I will never be sad that I read a Parker book. I read Proof House, and I'm not sad that I read it. I was just like, what a boring conclusion, boring anticlimactic conclusion.
Silver lining. Alan and I had trauma bonded over Proof House.
We did. That's true. It's true, Evie. It's just like I read 600 pages of Proof House, and was just like, what was the point? Atticus is telling me I'm all done. I'm like, we'll be all done in just a second, bud. What? Anyway. Oh no, he's all done with his goldfish. Okay. But I'm glad we read it. Like I like that we do this every year. Two of Swords, regardless of whether we like it or not, is short. So we're not pushing through 600 pages every book. We're pushing through 400. So.
And I mean, speaking of Two of Swords, I'm going into that series with the expectation and the knowledge that it was serialized.
Yeah.
So I'm treating it as whatever chapters or however it's split up, it's a serial.
And I'm also expecting, and I'm going to make the prediction here, I'm expecting that I will like Two of Swords considerably more than Evie will, just because of what it's about. It's the more war military focused, which I tend to enjoy more than you do, Evie, in the Parker ones. But I guess it'll depend. Maybe there'll be like some psychopath characters like Ziani that,
or what if there are
crows
tarot cards.
The first time that there's a dream sequence in Two of Swords, I'm going to just message Evie and be like, you win. All right.
As you all know, I'm right now reading Sisters Vanguard.
You're still reading that?
I have like
Sniquid.
40 pages left.
Why is it? Are you enjoying it, Evie? I mean, anything?
Not the best Parker, but not as bad as Scavengers. So what I'm going to say is, I think before reading Scavengers, whatever Parker did, I was like some slip-ups or something like that, I kind of ignored. But because of reading memory, whatever he did, are you doing this again? Don't mess this up. It is on front of the mind. So I definitely...
Anita now hates Parker, confirmed.
No. I will give a gap before reading Sisters Vanguard at least couple of months, but I will finish Sisters Vanguard book 2 as well. If I don't like it, I'm not going to read Two of Swords.
What did you just say?
She's not going to read Two of Swords.
If I don't like Sisters Vanguard 2.
Why? What does that have to do with Two of Swords?
Because I need a break, like little break.
So here's the key.
We're not reading Two of Swords till October. It's February.
How about this, Anita? Don't read Sister Vanguard 2.
Yeah. Why would you
take your break now? That's what I'm doing.
Okay. Well, I don't know what Anita's doing right now.
Yeah. I am glad
I think Evie would like Sisters Vanguard. It's weird. And that's the kind of stuff Evie likes, is weird stuff. What is Anita doing?
I don't know. But
is Anita bailing on another of my read-alongs? Is that what's happening?
No, I'm not bailing. I'm just saying.
That's literally what you just said.
Also, you went camera off. What's going on?
I don't know. My camera connection is gone. I have no clue what happened.
Your camera is protesting.
Convenient.
And then there were 3. But yeah, I'm glad to be taking a break from Parker to a certain extent, because I feel like I need to read like some more like epic fantasy, which right now Game of Thrones is actually really scratching that itch in a certain extent.
Millie has read Two of Swords and it's well crafted. Not any mistakes that they could spot.
Nice.
I'm trying. Like, why are y'all saying taking a break from Parker? Like y'all read one Parker every month. Like
it's I don't know. It's just the nihilism of it. I need the break
8
from it.
months from now.
It's true.
Like, It's 8. That's why.
And in 8 months, I'm gonna be super excited to read Two of Swords.
Yes, it's 8 months from now.
Okay.
Don't read Sister Svanger 2 if you're not liking the first one, Anitha.
It is not that bad.
Decision.
It's not that bad. That means that it's bad, Anitha.
No, it is not bad. Okay.
Mid.
What I meant to say is it is not like Hammer level or Purple and Black level. Okay.
It's just mid. Like the reason I keep reading Parker is because I know he is capable of the books that I like, which is all the standalones except for the Sharps. And I keep waiting for the next one of those. And if I have to read a bunch of mid novels before I get to the next one of those, then that's fine. That's fine because of how much I enjoy the books that I by him that I really enjoy. So I know he's capable of it. I just wish he would stop writing the ones that are fine. Like they're fine. Like they're just fine.
I mean, regardless of, short story, novella, standalone series, I think his writing has been consistent for me. Like the actual style of his writing. Yeah. And that's what I am always going to be drawn to regardless.
Yeah.
And that's what I go to him for. Like Parker writes like Parker, and I have not read anyone else that kind of does the same thing as he does in regards to writing style. And I mean, to Pete's point, like too much of the same thing can be not a good thing. So I understand taking a break or whatever, but sorry, Remus is reading Savages right now.
Yeah, I need to reread Savages. I read it so fast that I was in
it was after Jimmy threw the car at you.
Do what? Yeah, when I got the car thrown at me. So I need to reread Savages for sure. And it's also the only the only one of the standalones I don't have a review for. So I need to put that there. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining me. Christina is still not back. She still hasn't been seen by the doctor. So, but she said she thought she was next. And I haven't eaten breakfast, and this child hasn't eaten lunch, so I need to go feed them. But thank you guys for joining. I'm glad that you guys joined me for reading books that not everyone on BookTube reads all the time. This is the crowd that doesn't feel the need to make a separate video about how Cosmere is getting an adaptation.
I'll let other people do that for me.
Yeah. Because if you don't make a video, how will people know that the Cosmere is getting an adaptation?
Well, yeah, because everybody's information stream comes from me, obviously. Like I know, like there are people that rely on me despite having not put out a video in over a year that they don't know anything right now. They don't know anything.
I don't know why anybody watches my channel,
anybody else.
But it
is. Go feed your child, Alan.
I'm gonna. All right. Thanks everybody for joining us. Yeah. Oh well, Atticus is shutting it down. He's like, don't. Yeah. You don't got to go home, but you can't stay here.
Evie,